Hi, Banana Recap here. Today I am going to explain a film called The Preppy Connection. Watch out and take care. The action of the film begins in September 1984. Mike and Ingrid Hummel have fled to America after leaving post-war Germany. Having chosen the wrong side, they were broke and dreamed of starting life anew. One day their son received a scholarship to study at a prestigious school. The parents couldn't believe what had happened, since neither they nor Tobias had applied for the scholarship. The 17-year-old boy is fascinated by American high school students, but feels like a black sheep and fears that he won't be able to be a part of them. When he arrives at the school, he hesitates to get out of the car and drives away. His mother wants a better future for her son and forces him to overcome his fear. The next day the boy goes to the school for an initiation, where he has to write his name in a sacred book. During the ceremony, the ink pen stops writing. Trying to fix this, Toby smudges a sheet of the book. Trying to wipe away the ink, he drops the pedestal with the book, causing bewilderment to the other pupils. Fidel is the son of the Colombian ambassador who decides to support the nervous lad. He explains the rules of life on campus and talks about the groups of students and their hobbies. When he meets Alex, the newcomer falls in love with the girl and can't take his eyes off her. After meeting Ellis, he dreams of being like this guy, as he has an elite family who have been at this school for generations. The major introduces Toby to the other students, but at some point they throw a black bag over his head and throw the boy to the floor to punish him for desecrating the book. Fidel, who has come to the rescue, defends his friend and asks him not to stand out from the crowd. Adhering to his new acquaintance's advice, he observes the schoolchildren from the sidelines and keeps a low profile. One day an old friend Toby visits the schoolyard. A group of elite teenagers are looking for some fun weed and Alex approaches the newcomer. The frightened schoolboy can't refuse the girl and agrees to get the illegal substances. In the evening he and Dennis go in search of weed. The friend tries to show off his knowledge from crime films, but looks foolish and only triggers aggression from the guys hanging out in the night town. Tobias calms the strangers down and asks them to sell the illegal substances. The next day he tells Ellis and his friends about his nighttime adventures, much to the amusement of the schoolboys. On hearing the teacher approaching, the teenagers manage to escape from the room through a window and Toby takes the blame. After serving his sentence, he returns to school and learns that he is legendary. Now nobody hurts the humble and shy guy, but thinks he's cool. Ellis suggests they meet on the golf course for a bit of fun. At night they take illicit substances and let Toby sniff the fun powder. The teenagers want to get their hands on more powder and the newcomer promises to get it for them. Ellis and his friends react with skepticism, but he convinces them he has big connections. Realizing that he has deceived the schoolchildren, Toby is nervous and argues with his parents. Trying not to lose face, the boy asks an old friend to get the powder. During the deal Dennis gets punched in the face, and has no intention of buying any more illegal substances. Realizing that his friend was taking a risk, the student with connections resells the powder several times over. Ellis buys it all back and asks the newcomer to get more. Understanding that Colombia is the home of illegal substances, Toby decides to go to Fidel's homeland. After collecting money for the trip, they leave for the schoolboy's home. His father's security guard won't leave the boy's side, so they have to cheat. While one attracts attention, the other manages to escape. Heading into a dysfunctional neighborhood, Toby walks into one of the local bars. Hiding money in the toilets he tries to buy illegal substances, but is attacked by aggressive men. The bar owner, who has found a pile of dollars, defends the guy and sells the powder. Hiding it in a decorative figurine, Toby smuggles the illegal substances across the border and shares his success with other schoolchildren. Knowing that his family is in big financial trouble, he divides the powder into small doses, dilutes it, and starts selling it to his students. After making a little money, he secretly sends the money to his mother and saves the rest of the profit for a new purchase. At one of the parties, Toby meets a schoolteacher who asks him to stop selling illicit drugs. He warns that he won't get away with it, but the schoolboy ignores Mr. Jennings' remarks. Having sold everything, Toby decides to leave for Colombia again to meet the bar owner and replenish the stock. Upon learning of this, the schoolboys line up and place an order, dreaming of trying the banned drugs. Having collected the necessary amount of money, the boy leaves again for a neighboring country and finds the Colombian baron. During the conversation the student talks about his love for the girl, sniffing the powder, and having a good time. After buying a new batch, he smuggles it out again in a decorative figurine. On his return to town, Toby can't take his eyes off Alex, despite the fact that she is dating Ellis. The girl notices the guy's gaze on her, but seems to mock him by ostentatiously kissing the elite schoolboy. Spending time with cool company, the guy stops standing out from the crowd, snorting powder and drinking alcohol. During one of the parties he shows a liking for a girl, but Ellis notices it. The angry dude takes out his aggression on his lover and a student with connections. Realizing that he is not destined to be with the girl he loves, Toby continues to distribute illicit drugs and takes them every day. Gradually his financial situation improves, he increasingly sends anonymous letters with money to his mother. Alex wants even more illicit drugs and offers Ellis a trip to Colombia. The cowardly rich man doesn't want to go to jail and is afraid to smuggle the powder across the border. Mr. Jennings sees the boy's changes and asks him to stop selling illicit drugs, but he can't be stopped. Unafraid to leave with the budding dealer, Alex meets the boy's mother and tells her that they need to leave. Ingrid has no idea that her son is selling powder and lets him go with the girl. After leaving for Colombia, the students spend time together and gradually become close. Toby realizes that the hottie is just messing with his head, but is unable to resist her because of his intense crush. Sensing the attraction, she kisses the student and the couple have fun. The next morning they meet a Colombian baron who sells Toby some fun powder. After inviting the students to a party, the man steps away for a new batch of illicit substances. During the party the boy gets sick and goes outside to get some fresh air. Suddenly Toby witnesses the baron and his ward send an unknown man to the other side of the world. They decide to kidnap the American girl and demand a ransom for her. Realizing Alex is in danger, the boy returns to the club and tells her what has happened. The students escape from the chase, narrowly escaping the hands of the bandits. At the same time, Ellis visits his lover's house and learns that she has left for Colombia with Toby. Experiencing another fit of jealousy, he calls the police and reports the actions of a student with connections. On the plane, Alex seems to sense trouble and asks the guy to flush the powder down the toilet. He agrees but feels sorry for the money spent, leaving the illegal substances with him. At the airport Toby is detained for importing, possessing and distributing illegal powder. The schoolboys are worried the lad might tell on them, but Ellis is suspiciously calm. He soon tells Ben and Laura that he's the one who ratted out a friend transporting powder from Colombia. After learning the whole truth, everyone reacts differently. Dennis remains unperturbed and is sympathetic to his friend going to jail. Laura can't stand it and goes to the other side, and Ben, who is in love with her, beats up Ellis, who is responsible for what is happening. Toby is tried as an adult and takes all the blame without giving a single name. Please like and subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.